In this video, I'm starting this next chapter of this SAT prep book that I've been going over in these videos. And the topic here is composite functions, it looks like. All right, so let me give a brief review of what a composite function is. It's just a function within a function. So let's say you have two functions, f of x and g of x, okay? For the input, you're more familiar with like a single number, x, like x equals 1 or something like that. But you can have a function within a function. You can put that function as the input of the other function. So this is f of g of x. And a different way to write this is f composed of g of x. Sometimes you see it like that. Whenever you read it like this, whenever you see it like this, just think f of g of x, exactly like this. I prefer this method. I don't like this method really, but you need to know it. Sometimes they notate it like this. Okay? And the other important part is when you have a composite function like f of g of x, you go outside in basically. So if you have some input x, you're going to first pass into your inner function g. You'll get some output g of x as a result, okay? And then you're going to pass that output g of x into the next function f, the outer function. So that's how you get f of g of x, okay? And we'll go over some examples of how this is more usually done in these problems, okay? As a general review, hopefully this can be of help. Okay, number one. If f of x is this quadratic and g of x is 1 minus x, what is the value of f composed of g of negative 2? So go ahead and try this first. As I said, think of this as f of g of negative 2. Okay? So we're going to first find what g of negative 2 is. Okay? G of negative 2, we plug into here. 1 minus negative 2, which is 1 plus 2, which is 3. And this, we're going to pass into our f. So f of 3 is 3 squared minus 3 times 3 minus 1, which is negative 1, it looks like, right? So the answer should be B. And let me go back to why this is f of 3. Well, let's go back to this diagram. Our x, in this case, is negative 2. So we're passing it into g, and we're finding g of negative 2 first. That's what we did here, okay? And this 3, which is g of negative 2, becomes the input of f. So that's why I found f of 3. F of 3 is negative 1. So this is the final output, which is our f of g of negative 2. Okay? Next, if f equals this set and g equals this set, what is the value of g composed of f of 2? So go ahead and try this. As I said, I always like to do this. G of f of 2. So what is f of 2? Well, they tell us it's right there, right? F of 2 is 0. And then we're going to find g of 0 next. Because this is g of f of 2. G of 0 is 1. Answer C. Okay? Next, function f satisfies f of negative 1 is 8 and f of 1 is negative 2. Function g satisfies g of 2 is 5, g of negative 1 is 1. What is the value of g, f of g of negative 1? Okay, so again, we're going to basically go off of this. We're going to first find g of negative 1. So what is g of negative 1? That's 1. Okay, and then let me write it like this time. F of g of negative 1. We found g of negative 1, which is 1. So we're finding now f of 1. What is f of 1? That is minus 2, negative 2. Answer is A. Okay, so these are pretty easy, hopefully, once you get the hang of it. If f of x is this guy, g of x is this guy, what is f of g of 3? So g of 3 is 2 minus 3, which is negative 1. And the f of negative 1, which is f of g of 3, is 1 minus 5 times negative 1 over 2, which is 1 plus 5 over 2, 6 over 2, which is 3. Okay, next. 5 and 6 refer to this table here with f and g and select the values of x, okay? What is the value of f of g of negative 2? So what's g of negative 2? that is 0. So we want f of 0 next, because 0 is g of negative 2. So f of 0 is 6, and that's our answer. Okay, hopefully you get the hang of this now. G of f of 3. So we're going to first find f of 3, which is in the table 0. And now we're going to find g of 0, which is 4. Because 0 is f of 3. So g of f of 3 is 4. And that's our answer. Okay, so if this is the level of expectation that the SAT expects of you of composite function, this is a piece of cake, in my opinion. You just need to know that you have to first find the value of the inner function and plug that output of that inner function as your input of your outer function. And that's really it, as you saw in all these problems. Okay, and then you just need to know this notation. G composed of f is the same thing as g of f of whatever that input is. F composed of g, that's the same thing as g of f of g of negative 2. Okay, that's it for this video. This one's another short one. Hopefully it was helpful though, and please like and subscribe as always if this has helped you in any way. And please look out for the next video as well, which I think we're soon going to be going over exponential functions. So be on the lookout for that.